Good afternoon, everyone. I am not joined by Jazz today. You've just got me, I'm afraid, but hopefully we can do Jazz's channel justice and enjoy what's going to be an exciting afternoon of the Europa League draw. I'm really looking forward to seeing who we are going to get and what our next European adventures are going to be. So really looking forward to that. And we'll just sort of catch up on a bit of West Ham news because there's a lot going on in the world of West Ham at the moment prior to the draw actually taking place, because these things are always a little bit delayed. So hopefully can get some engagement in the chat and we can talk about a few things. But really, we'll just sort of touch upon some of the news that sort of is filtering out at the moment, a bit of Paqueta news, a bit of McTominay news, and everything else that's going on in the world of West Ham at the moment. I will share the pots of the teams that we can draw as well, because that's what it's all about. So let's have a look at that. So we're in pot 1, which means we're going to have a team from pot 2, pot 3, or pot 4. I mean, there's some exciting ties out there. It's you know, for the Conference League, which people will tell you, you know, the teams are not particularly great and there's some awful trips. Actually, there's some really nice places that we can be visiting, and some fairly decent sized teams as well. You can almost draw the equivalent of what could look like a Europa League side. Ryan says the only good team is Villarreal. I'm not sure about that, mate. We've got some big teams in here. We've got Fiorentina, we've got Köln in Germany. You know, they're not bad size. Anderlecht would be interesting. I remember playing them in a pre-season friendly at Upton Park, which was a lot of fun. Hearts, while not a big team, would still be a really interesting. Enjoy that one. As people may know, I'm also an AIK fan, or AIK fan, which is a Swedish team. And their biggest rival is Djurgårdens, which are in pot number 4. They actually play in the National Stadium. They share the stadium with AIK. And it's a brilliant stadium, a big stadium. And yeah, that would be, I've actually been there previously and watched a derby there. Massive atmosphere. They are, yeah, a big side in Sweden, and they'd make a lot of noise. It'd be completely sold out. And yeah, I'll be looking forward to that one. So pot 4, definitely keeping an eye on Djurgårdens there. Obviously, being a slightly higher seeded side, I think that's gone in our favour with regards to teams that we could end up drawing, which ain't a bad thing. And then even then, I know it's, you know, you want to get a decent stadium to go to and a fairly decent side club, but there are places in here that I'd like to go. Like we've got, and please excuse me for the pronunciation here, but in pot 2 there, Apollon. In Cyprus, I'm very up for a trip to Cyprus. That would be a lovely little adventure out there, nice and hot, and perfect time of the year to go to Cyprus, as long as it's one of the earlier games that we'd play. Mold in Norway, you know, they've always been in European competition. That would be an interesting one to go to as well. A couple of Romanian teams there in pot 2. Not sure how much I fancy that, to be honest. Quite happy to avoid those, as long with Israel as well. I know that a lot of people actually sort of, I don't know, quite say pretty decent things about Israel. So, you know, maybe I'm being a bit harsh there, but with what's happening in that part of the world at the moment, I wouldn't mind avoiding that. And then we've got pot number 3. So Nice would be brilliant trip. Would love to go to Nice. Anderlecht, superb. Happy with that. Austria, Vienna. You know, got no problem with that. Happy to go there. Obviously, been there before. Hearts, Shamrock Rovers in Ireland. That would be an interesting trip. I'd be very happy for that. Sivasspor in Turkey. That would be a very lively occasion, going to Turkey. Lech Poznan, Poland. I think I'll avoid that one. The Ukraine one, there's something sentimental about that, which would be quite interesting to play the Ukrainian team. But with everything that's going on there, just a team that I'd like to avoid, just because they're going to be right up for that game. And yeah, they've got other motives that could drive them through. So while we should have no problem dealing with teams like that, I'll probably be happy to give that one a miss. And then pot 4 is probably where, other than Djurgårdens, which I'm absolutely praying for, things are not as exciting as some of the other pots. So yeah, we've got another Denmark trip in there, a Czech Republic trip. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting one to see where we're going to be going. Right, let's have a look at some of the news that's coming out. An article that I wanted to sort of run through everyone and get some opinions on this one, because I'm not quite sure we're going to agree with our ex-player here, if I'm totally honest. But we will have a look at an article that has come out at Football London. One of our old players here, Mr. Glenn Johnson, was a fantastic player for us. Didn't get to see enough of him, unfortunately, after the relegation. But he was a superb player. Really liked him when he was coming through. Brilliant in the youth teams all the way through, and then played exceptionally well for the few games that he did play for us before moving on to Chelsea in 2003. But he feels like Scott McTominay could be a decent addition for West Ham. I certainly hope that we don't end up with Scott McTominay instead of Paqueta. But I do kind of understand that somebody was saying that yesterday, that we're sort of, our weak area is in the middle of the park there. And if we got an injury to Thomas Souček or Declan Rice, that we don't really have much other options. And I think that's probably right. I think that's probably our weakest area of the team now. Now we've addressed left back, we've addressed our centre backs, we've addressed our attacking options. If Paqueta comes in, we're certainly sort of sorted in terms of those sort of attacking midfielders in behind the strikers as well. So yeah, I think that the weakness that we have is definitely the central midfield position. And I guess this is why Glenn Johnson is saying that, you know, Scott McTominay could be, and as he says there, a decent signing. Bolstering the ranks before the transfer deadline. Totally understand it. You know, he's obviously come into a lot of stick at Manchester United. Probably fairly in terms of how their performances have been. But, you know, I don't think he's a terrible player. Mr. Jazz is in the chat having a nice drink in Richmond. I like that, mate. That sounds nice. You'll have a drink while, you know, your staff go and do the hard slog, mate. So yeah, and he says, I think he makes a really good point here. While Scott McTominay would not be a game-changing signing for his former side, he could be a useful member of the squad, especially with domestic competitions and European fronts this season. And I think that is probably about spot on, to be honest. A squad member, someone who can cover Declan Rice's and Souček's position, someone who's not going to break the bank, whether it be a loan or a main signing, not too sure. But yeah, for me, it's a position that I think we do need a little bit of cover and a bit of options in there. And who knows, if he gets away from the carnage that has been Man United so far over recent times, maybe stepping away from it, he might actually show that he is a half decent footballer for us. So that's that one. Ryan is getting very excited in the chat with regards to saying that it's been agreed for Lucas Paqueta. Would like to see proof of that myself from my side. But I mean, we are in for a serious player there if we can get this one over the line. So Ryan saying is coming out from Sky Sports. So it's been announced. Wow, that would be absolutely huge. Let's have a look on the Sky Sports website, see if we can get any more information from that. Can't see anything on the website at the moment. Is Ryan on the wind up? That's the question. That is the question. Yeah, can't see nothing here at the moment. Nothing at the moment. Right. Any other news that's going on with West Ham at the moment. No, he promises. Okay, let's have a little run through the chat quickly as well. We'll have a look at some other news. Ryan says that if we got Cologne, that would be a Nice. That would be the hardest group. Yes, agreed. It's one thing wanting to go to decent teams and go to decent places, but obviously it would be nice to just be able to stroll through a group and not have too much stress as well. So Hammerhead would love Fiorentina, Hearts and Lech Poznan. Italy and Scotland would be an atmosphere, and I totally agree with that, mate. I think Scotland would be a brilliant place to go. Only up the road as well, allows loads of West Ham to bomb up there, which would be amazing. Fiorentina is an interesting one as well. Would be a really old school, good Italian club, so it'd be enjoyable to go there as well. Who else have we got here? So I'd like an easy group, obviously, but I want us to take it seriously. Let's win a trophy. Obviously, that would be nice if we can get to a final and try and win something. Would be absolutely amazing if we could do that. It's always been my main priority for West Ham, and I know a lot of people sort of knocked me last year for saying it wasn't a success, but for me, success is winning things. While it was a good season, loved every second of it, and getting to the semi-final was a right step in the right direction for West Ham. We also, true success is winning things, and I just would love to win something in my lifetime as a West Ham fan. So who we got here? You want Gallagher, Paqueta in, and you'll be happy. Yeah, I mean, I've heard, to be honest, I've not watched too much of Gallagher. I've heard a lot of people say he's not particularly very good at passing. He's not much of a ball-playing central midfielder and doesn't really address the problems that we've got with Souček at the moment. So, but obviously he done fantastically well, went out on loan for Crystal Palace. So he's obviously got something about him, Premier League experience. I certainly wouldn't have a problem with that. There we go. So Jazz is having a nice drink. That's what it's all about. Hammerhead's asking if it's actually been agreed. Nothing on the Sky Sports website. Just a third bid in the works. So I do have Twitter, Ryan. I do. I think it's at Claret and Blue TV, I believe, mate. And yeah, feel free to tag me anything or share anything on there while we're on the stream. Live coverage will begin shortly of the Europa League draw. So we're making our way now closer to time to the draw, which I'm very excited about. What do we have here? Ryan's message breaking. West Ham have agreed a deal to sign Lyon midfielder Lucas Paqueta. The deal is likely in excess of 50 million. Take that with a little bit of pinch of salt here, but we'll see. We'll see. Ryan didn't lie. It's been agreed. Paqueta is on his way. I mean, this is if this comes over the line, it's absolutely huge. Right, so we've got the Europa music playing in the background. I can hear it in my ears. So the show is about to start. But apparently, Mr. Paqueta is on his way. Game-changing signing for West Ham. Probably, and a lot of arguments could be made for one of the biggest signings in our club's history. So absolutely massive signing if we get this one over the line. Absolutely huge. So it would be, I mean, it certainly changes my outlook on how West Ham are at the moment. So, all right, welcome to Istanbul, everyone, where the draw is taking place. Let's try and share my screen with you. Here we go, everyone. Looking forward to this. Very excited. I wonder if it will allow us to put the pots on here as well. I'm not sure we can get it all on the screen at the same time. No, unfortunately not. But at the moment, they're just sort of showing some highlights from last season. Roma obviously done fantastically well with Jose Mourinho. What a winner that man is. I absolutely love Jose Mourinho as a manager, always have done, even when he was at Spurs. Just a fantastic, fantastic manager. Just a winner, born out and out winner, that man. Would love to see somebody like that at West Ham in the future. And before everyone screams, no, I'm not saying get rid of David Moyes, but in the future, I'd love to see someone with just that bit of, I don't know, just that real out and out desire just to win things and win every single game and be really unhappy if we're not winning things. So, to go to Roma and win their first European trophy was a massive, massive achievement for Jose. So, have to admire what he's done in football. Definitely has got to go down as one of the best managers of all time. So, but what it does show you is, even if you haven't won European competition before, that you can go and win European trophies now with this new format and this new setup and this new tournament. So, yeah, who's not to say that West Ham can go and achieve European glory once again, which has been a while and a long time coming. But 2 years in Europe now, on the bounce. It's maybe it's getting closer than it was previously. So looking forward to that. And looking at the highlights that they're playing here, there are some big games, some big teams, huge atmospheres. It's a tournament that we need to take seriously. It's a really, really big tournament. Winning it is, you can knock it all you like and people can say, but it's still a European trophy at the end of the day, and one that with the other teams that we're looking at that's in these pots at the moment, no one should really give us any trouble. I know obviously in the second half we're going to have some Europa League teams drop in, which is going to make things a little bit more difficult as the tournament progresses. But yeah, West Ham have got a chance, especially if this new Brazilian comes in. Then we are then, really on the cards of potentially being able to do something very, very special at West Ham. So huge. Hammerhead's just said here, Mourinho proved that a lot of managing a team to success is more about psychology than anything else. Totally agree, mate. He is brilliant man management. Absolutely fantastic at motivating a team and inspiring them to become and think like winners, mate. Think like winners. And I think that's probably a little bit why we've had a few grumbles at the sort of comments that Declan Rice come out and said with us not being Manchester City. If you don't feel like you can compete in any game of football, then almost don't bother at all. There's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be able to at least compete. And I want to see us to have that attitude that we can beat anyone on our day, which, we can. So we need to start thinking a little bit more like a big club and a club that believes in itself and can go and beat anybody and can achieve success. We need to start believing that, or otherwise, we'll always come up short. So totally agree with you there, Hammerhead. Right, so we're back now. Highlights are over. And we're just having a little bit of chat with regards to last season's competition again at the moment. Thank you for sharing that with me, Ryan. Top man. Got to wonder what happened to some of the stars that Mourinho did let go, like Sander de Bruyne. They become beasts after he let them go. Yeah, but they were very early on in their careers then. They did look raw. I mean, if you look back to De Bruyne's time at Chelsea, he didn't look fantastic, mate. He really didn't. So you can almost see why they let them go. Some players just mature later on in their careers, and I mean, there's no question it was a mistake to let players like that go, because they've gone on to be two of the best players in world football. So, quite interesting as to what happened there. And the other thing, slight question over Mourinho was his belief in Eric Dyer. He loved Eric Dyer. That was a very interesting belief of Mourinho's, that Eric Dyer was a top footballer and pivotal to Tottenham. So, although he's not had a terrible start to some of the games this season. So, Okay, so we've gone into some other language now, which is not going to help me feed back to you what's going on with the draw. But pots are in front of you. As we get closer and the draw is about to take place, I will we'll let you know. It's almost as if Mourinho let them go as to say, go on, prove me wrong. Maybe it inspired them to push on. Yeah, maybe so, mate. Maybe so. But, you know, as a manager, I think you always want to get the very, very best out of the players around you. I saw an interview the other day with him and Benzema. And he sort of said that Benzema, in his time managing him, he had a lot of personal issues and a lot of problems which sort of hindered his performances on the pitch. And once he'd left, and obviously a few of those issues have been sorted out, just look how fantastic Benzema is now. So I think that sort of eats him up inside a little bit, that he was never able to get the best out of certain players. I do think Mourinho prides himself on getting the very best out of the players around him and the teams that he works with. Yeah, we've got a little bit of time to have a bit of predictions for West Ham this weekend. I mean, we have to believe it's really important because we need points on the board. We really need to go and kickstart our season now. The last thing we want is 4 losses going into the 2 London derbies. That would be a real bad place to be. So we definitely need to get points on the board. I think at the very, very minimum, we need a draw to stop the rot. But really and truly, we need to go and kickstart the season with a win. And I think we're very capable of doing that. If there's a manager that I believe David Moyes can outsmart, it's going to be Steven Gerrard. I think he's still very raw. I still don't think he's an intelligent manager. And I hope that David Moyes and our coaching staff can come up with a plan to get a proper job done on Aston Villa. We've sort of had the better of them in recent years, in recent times. So hopefully that continues. And if that can continue, then there's no reason why we can't go and get a good solid win. I'm going to go with a 2-0 West Ham win. That's my prediction. So I don't think we're going to see massive changes. I think we're going to see a very similar setup to the last games after last night. But I still think we'll have enough to do a job on Aston Villa at the weekend. Hammerhead has said Benzema's got to win the Ballon d'Or this year. I totally agree with you, mate. I think he, he's been fantastic. What he did last year, taking Real Madrid to European glory, was just absolutely huge, mate. He was on fire last year. So, he's certainly a contender. And without the 2 big boys, being involved now or being justified of winning it, then it's opened the door for someone else. And I don't think you could necessarily look any further than Benzema, to be honest with you. I think he's the man that I would give it to for sure. All right, so we're having a chat with Vladimir Šmísa now, the old Liverpool man. It's almost done. Everyone is getting very, very excited. Hammerhead's giving it a yes, yes, yes. It is certainly all happening. It's getting very, very exciting. I probably haven't felt this buzz around a signing for a very long time, to be honest. So I think that just shows you the magnitude of just how big this signing is going to be. So yeah, it's huge. If we can get this over the line, complete next level signing. Let's be honest, we were promised this. We were promised we could go and get, huge international superstars at the right age when they're sort of young, coming into their prime. This is what we was promised. And this is going to be painful for some people, but the board promised us European football. We're starting to get that. They promised us next level signings. We're starting to get that. Let's just hope. And while I still have my big problems with our owners, let's just hope we're starting to see some of their, what were lies at the time, turn into maybe some truths, which would be amazing. So what do we have here as well? What do you think of the orange and white third kit from Samuel Lack? I'm okay with it, mate, to be honest with you. I don't hate it. I mean, I see a lot of split opinions on it. It's definitely not West Ham. I do get what, from a design perspective, I do get what Umbro have been going for. The little detailing on the home kit arm and on the away kit, actually, they're trying to play that into some of the design around the London Stadium. And then I think the sort of orange fire, if you like, which is on the white kit, is a lot to do with that forged from iron, a lot to do with the ironworks. It's the fire, the hitting of the steel. I think that is kind of what they were trying to play on, but I don't think it's obvious enough. And I think people just think it's a bit garish and not particularly to their taste. But I don't hate it, I don't like it. I don't think the quality of the kits this year have been particularly good. Just the way they're made, the fit of them is not particularly nice. So I've more got a problem with the actual putting together of the kit and the quality of the kit itself more than the designs, to be honest. Ryan saying, what a signing, a statement signing. Can't believe we pulled this off. Wow. Top 6, here we come. All of the doom and gloom of 3 losses have all turned on its head just with one signing. Just like that, we're going to be top 6. So it shows how much we've grown as a club, being able to attract such talent. Wow, come on, you Irons. Yes, absolutely, mate. Yeah, the Skamaka and Paqueta link up, mate, could be very, very exciting for sure. Rice and Paqueta is up there with the best in Europe. Absolutely, mate. That would be some midfield that we're starting to build now. Orange and white is disgusting. I'd rather pink, blue, or claret splash, not an orange one. Whatever happened to the turquoise kit we had? Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Like I said, I don't think this kit just has anything West Ham about it, to be honest. However, like I say, I think it is to do with the forged from iron, the smashing of the steels, the fire of the ironworks. I think that's what they've gone for. It's just not very obvious for fans. Worst kit for years, says Hammerhead. And time we find a new sponsor, I agree with that, mate. Well, I think we need a new kit manufacturer. I think Umbro are just not particularly good. You see some of the kits that have been put out there this year. Some of them are fantastic. The new Crystal Palace kit. There was a lower team who had a kit. QPR. QPR's kit looks absolutely stunning. What an amazing kit that is. So I'll show. I don't know if everyone's seen the new QPR kit, but while we're waiting for this draw to happen, I will show you the one I'm talking about. I just think it's properly designed. I just think it's a really, really nice bit of kit. So the one that I particularly like is that one there. I just think that is a really, really nice kit. So there's been some lovely ones that have been manufactured this year, sort of really pushing boundaries with design and making them super clean and almost sort of fashion pieces. But ours, not so much, unfortunately. Souček is off. I'm not so sure, mate. I think Souček could stick around. I think we need him. No, we've not always been with Umbro for the kits. We've had many manufacturers over the years, but it's been Umbro for a little bit while now. But I also think that that deal is for quite a while longer. I think we've got another 3 or 4 years of Umbro on the current deal, so that's not going to change anytime soon. The 8 top-seeded teams and West Ham United are in there in pot 1, so we're starting to move towards the draw now. Things are building up. It's about to happen. Villarreal, Basel, Slavia Prague, AZ Alkmaar, West Ham, all in pot 1. Let's go back to our pots so we can see who we can draw. And the draw is literally starting to take place now, everyone. Yeah, Pony were a fantastic manufacturer for West Ham. They did some really nice ones. They did some dodgy ones and all that as well. Here we go. First name coming out. Besiktas is out first from pot number 1. So we kind of want to see from the other pots it be dwindled down to a point where we're left with the exciting ones. So pot 2, I'd be happy with the Romanian teams to go here. So one of the Romanian teams into the other group would be nice. He's struggling to open the ball at the moment. It looks like it's glued together. He's really struggling, the guy. The old man next to him, who's half his side, has offered to open it, and he's opened it instantly. Within seconds, he's opened it. The big unit, 6'5", can't open the ball, and then he's passed it on to a man who looks about 5 foot tall, and he's just opened it just like that. West Ham United are out next. So we're in Group B. So West Ham United in Group B. We now know our group. So that's what's happening here. We're drawing all of the top seeded sides into their groups. Villarreal out next. They'll go into Group C. So quite an interesting format. Looks like they're going to do each pot into different groups. And that's the way that we're going to run it. So that's made that clear. AZ Alkmaar up next. Group D. If Sullivan gets Gallagher in now, Ryan's going to be on his knees at Sullivan. You got to be careful being on your knees around Sullivan, mate. He likes some very risque things, so just watch yourself there, mate. Ghent is out next. Lots of come on you irons in the chat on the YouTube live draw. West Ham everywhere as usual. Lots of Stour fans. God knows what they're in there for. Partizan Belgrade out next. All right, who we got next? Slavia Prague. And the final team of the first round of teams being drawn out, coming out now. SC Basel. All right, so we know West Ham, Group B. Pot 2 we're moving on to now. So who do we want out of Pot 2? Let's take Fiorentina, Cologne, trip to Cyprus. They would be my picks of the bunch. Mold in Norway. I wouldn't mind going there. So one of those would be nice. All right, here we go. Old Schmieser. He's not having so much trouble with the balls this time. His ball handling skills are much, much better. Fiorentina, first team out. Fiorentina gone straight into Group A. So no Fiorentina for West Ham. Besiktas and Fiorentina in Group A. This will be West Ham's team coming now, I guess. Group B. Let's see who we've got here. Oh, Football Club FCSB, Romania. Yeah, Football Club FCSB of Romania is the first team drawn into West Ham's group. We're going to have to go full on, what's his name? Andrew Tate. We're going to have to go full on Andrew Tate and all go and show how manly we are over in Romania. Yeah, I mean, it's a side that we shouldn't have any trouble against. I mean, as an away trip, it doesn't excite me particularly very much. But yes, you did, Ryan. You called that. You absolutely called that perfectly there, mate. So I'll start pulling up some of the teams' histories and what they're all about, stadiums. Whoa. Oh, I didn't realise. A FCSB, is that Steaua Bucharest? If that is, we played them previously, didn't we, in European competition? Back in like 1998. Yeah, 1999, we played Steaua Bucharest. That's an interesting one. Ryan's called the rest of the teams Austria Vienna and Slovako. Yeah, we should, mate. We should. We should turn all of these over. Absolutely, mate. There's no one to really worry about in here. Watch us get, mate. I'm down with the easiest group. I've got absolutely no problem with that. But I don't think Steaua Bucharest is necessarily one of the easy teams, mate. Like I say, we got beat by them back in 1999. Huge stadium that they have. So I mean that's a positive. Yeah, absolutely huge stadium for Steaua Bucharest. So very nice. Right, so that is the end of pot number 2. Pot number 3 up next. Who are we going to pick from there? So Ryan's already called Austria Vienna. I'd like Hearts. Hearts here is my pick. Hearts would be very, very interesting indeed. Hearts, Nice, Anderlecht, someone like that. All right, first team out from pot number 3 is Hearts. So they're going into pot number 1 with Fiorentina. So it's not going to be Hearts for West Ham, unfortunately. Besiktas, Fiorentina and Hearts making up Group A at the moment. Here we go. We're about to... He's struggling with the ball again. He can't open it. He's passed it to the little man again, and he's opened it within seconds. So God knows what's going on there. And West Ham's team's going to be oh no. For whatever reason, they've not gone into West Ham's group. So they've gone into Group E, FC Vaduz. So it's not followed the same pattern as the previous pot, but fair enough. Shamrock Rovers out next, but not in West Ham's group, going into Group F. All right, next team coming up. Anderlecht. And they are going into Group West Ham's group. Anderlecht. I'm good with that. I'm happy with that. Like I say, played them at Upton Park in a friendly many years ago. Was an interesting day, that one. Yes, the draw is incredibly confusing, but there you go. So West Ham played Anderlecht in a friendly in 2004 at the at Upton Park. Was a really good, hot, sunny day. Was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Anderlecht. I'm good with that. Yeah, the draw is weird. It's like they just pick where they want to put a team. There's no obvious format to it. They just seem to put any teams where they fancy it. So a bit random. I'm sure they did explain it at the beginning, but. So Anderlecht was one of the ones that I fancied, so I'm good with that. So they actually only got through yesterday on penalties against Young Boys. Another decent stadium to go to, though, which is good. Lots of come on you irons and West Ham icons going up in the chat. Yeah, decent draw so far. Mr. Ginger Andy Carroll. Right, pot number 4, the one that I really want, Djurgårdens. This is the one that mattered to me. Huge rival of the Swedish team that I follow. So Djurgårdens, please. That would complete this group quite nicely. RFS, Latvia. That's going into Group A. Hammerhead, I have no idea why we didn't get the first 2 clubs drawn, mate. It didn't make any sense to me, but I'm just rolling with it. But it does seem a bit like they're putting teams wherever they fancy right now. Right, second team out. We've missed the Latvian team, but I wouldn't mind a trip to Latvia, really. Silkeborg, Denmark. That completes West Ham's group. We're going back to Denmark again. Silkeborg, which another pretty easy team that we should be facing, really. We shouldn't have any troubles there. Shouldn't have any troubles at all. So that completes our group. I mean, it's not an exciting group, quite similarly to our group last year in the Europa League, but it's a group that we shouldn't have too many problems with, and hopefully we can stroll through. It seems like the boys had a really, really good time in Denmark yesterday. So, you know, it's a beautiful place. Like I say, I used to go there a lot. So this time, there's no way I can miss this one. Going to have to get out to Denmark this time. So looking forward to that. We'll get some flights booked up. Looks like a tiny, tiny old stadium. Let's have a quick look at some of the places where we are going to be going and some of the stadiums that we're going to be visiting to get everybody a little bit excited. So the first two were really nice. So Steaua Bucharest, I think really nice size stadium, big stadium. That would be a really nice place to go. So definitely going to try and get that one booked up and get tickets for Bucharest. We then go over to Anderlecht, which again, pretty decent sized stadium, modern, nice. We'd quite like to get out to Anderlecht. I think that would be a really nice trip. Well, I say modern. It looked modern on the inside, but looking on the outside, it's looks like some sort of Soviet building. That's very different to the inside, but they've kept the inside nice and tidy. And then the Silkeborg Stadium, which is really tiny, will be interesting to see what part of Denmark that is in. Let's have a quick look. Back to Denmark again, and again it's over towards where it was literally down the road from Viborg. It's literally their neighbours. Viborg was there, and then where we're going to be going to now, down here, just literally down the road, literally their neighbours. So going back to the same part of Denmark for a second time. So yeah, we wait you in Bucharest. We are the best, mate. Well, you've played us before, and you've done a job on us then, but we're a very, very different side now, mate. So I'm glad you're waiting for us, because I know one thing, we will certainly be out there in numbers, mate. We will come, we will make a lot of noise, and yeah, we will definitely be seeing you in Bucharest. And same for you, mate. We will be waiting for you back in the London Stadium, welcoming you with a nice pint of beer, mate. So we've got all of the Bucharest boys are ploughing into the chat, giving us a bit of stick. They're up for it, the Bucharest boys. It's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, see, Hammerhead, they did mention the format previously, and I didn't really listen to too much of it because obviously I was trying to keep up with the chat and talk to you guys. So, but it was a very weird format that all of a sudden teams just started skipping around and going all over the place. So I'm not quite sure why that happened, but it is what it is. We've got I don't know. We've got a "don't worry, we'll win," and then he's predicted that West Ham will win 2-1. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but yeah, I agree with you. Here we go. We're waiting you in Bucharest. We will be 50,000 at the stadium. 50,000. Look at a photograph of the guy with his amazing haircut. I hope all the haircuts are like that out in Bucharest, mate. That is something. I'll have to get into the old barbers and get something special done for you. 50,000 stadium, though, that's massive. Give you all credit there. That's a big stadium for us to go to. Really looking forward to getting out to Bucharest and seeing what it's all about. Like I say, played you previously in European competition, and we didn't come up trumps that time. So time for West Ham to get some revenge, which will be good. West Ham are massive. Romanian fans, welcome to the channel. Jazz is welcoming you in to the West Ham Irons channel. What do you think of FCSB? If I'm honest, I haven't seen much about. I didn't even know that FCSB was Steaua Bucharest, if I'm honest, until till I checked up on Google. So yeah, it's a big club. Obviously, massive history, lots of European history as well. So looks like you're going to be very lively and make a lot of noise. Looks like the stadium's going to be absolutely rocking. So no, I mean, yeah, I'm glad that we've got a draw that's going to a big ground where there's going to be a lot of noise, a lot of atmosphere, will come in our numbers, and it should be a really good occasion. So really looking forward to getting out to Bucharest. Ah, first and second. Okay, well we can work with that. We can work with that. Hammerhead's going to be heading to Romania. Old Ili Dumitrescu. Come on, Millwall. Interesting. Not sure when Millwall have ever been involved in European draws, but there you go. Ravzan Rat. Florin Radachoyu. And Jazz said he knew we would get Anderlecht. So, no, I'm happy with Anderlecht. That is a team that I was hoping to draw. I feel like it'd be a good trip. I've been to Belgium once. I did a removal. When I left school, I was working as a removal man, and we moved someone's property to Belgium. Had a terrible time on the way back, missed the ferry, had to sleep in the van in a massive blizzard storm. It was so cold. I was freezing, trying to get some sleep in this van. I had to keep turning the engine on and put the heating on to try and stay a little bit warm. It was, yeah, not a pleasant experience, but the beer was exceptional. So, yes, we will enjoy the Belgian beer. So looking forward to that. We were through on pot 3 when news was announced, and they put the agreement to E. Yeah. Belgium good for beer, fries, chocolates, and diamonds. Well, that's not a bad combo, that, mate. We can certainly work with that. Ryan says West Ham will finish top, Anderlecht in second, FCSB in 3, and Silkeborg in 4. I think you're probably about right, mate, if I'm honest. You're probably about right. Belgium is beautiful. So, yeah. Some decent trips in there, to be honest. Back to Denmark, out to Belgium, and then we've got some crazy, mad trip to Romania by the looks of it, which looks like it's going to be a lively one. So, looking forward to that. The Forza Steaua Bucharest boys are making themselves known. Yeah, there you go. UCL winner in 86. I know, mate, you've got fantastic European history. Always remember that from when we played you last time in 2004 or whenever it was. So, yeah, no, absolutely, mate. You've got a rich history of your football club, which is why you've got a 50,000-seat stadium, mate. So you're a big enough club that it's going to be an exciting tie against you guys. So, yeah, massively looking forward to that. They do know we're in 2022, though, right? Well, this is the point, mate. This is the point. Steaua Bucharest have fallen from grace a little bit of late and don't seem to do as well as they used to. But, you know, they're in the tournament this time. They've got an opportunity to bounce back a little bit and get back into some sort of European glory. A bit like West Ham, mate. A bit like West Ham. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Right. Well, I'm going to jump, everyone. We've been on for an hour. I've really enjoyed chatting through that with everybody. I've enjoyed the draw again. I love doing this. It's always exciting. I hope we've got many more years to come of being able to sit and watch draws. And also, hopefully, the next one we sit in front of is the one when we're through. And those big Europa League teams come in. And hopefully we can get a really exciting draw in the latter stages of the tournament as well. So looking forward to that. And yeah, I will catch you all later. I'm going to go and book some flights, I think. Have a look, see what routes we're going to go, get some flights booked and get ready for our second European venture. And hopefully it's a success, well, more successful than the last one, and we can go and end up winning it. And I'm sure that if any more Paqueta news starts to break, that Jazz will keep you all up to date, and maybe jump on and do a stream with regards to what's going on with that situation as well. So Ryan's already created a song for Paqueta, so I'm glad we've already got the song sorted out as well, mate. So thank you for everyone who jumped in. And I will see you all with on a video with Jazz in the near future. See you later, everyone.